Do-hyuk stood before the giant robot.
Its metal body gleamed, cold and menacing. Just moments ago it was a pile of scrap. Now it pulsed with an eerie energy. The air crackled.
Do-hyuk felt a chill run down his spine. This was no ordinary machine. This was something else, something far more dangerous.
He gripped his sword tighter, its familiar weight a comfort. He had faced death before. He wouldn't back down now. He would fight. A voice boomed through the chamber, deep and resonant. It seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once.
You have done well to come this far, human.
Do-hyuk spun around, searching for the source. His heart pounded in his chest. Who was speaking?
I am Kakudinol, god of this world. You are an interesting specimen, Do-hyuk.
The voice chuckled, a sound that sent shivers down Do-hyuk's spine. A blinding light filled the chamber. Do-hyuk shielded his eyes, feeling the intense heat and energy radiating from the source. It was as if the very essence of the sun had descended into the room, making it almost impossible to see or think clearly. When he could see again, a figure stood before him. The light gradually dimmed, revealing the silhouette of a being unlike any he had ever encountered. The figure seemed to materialize out of the very light itself, stepping forward with an aura of authority and power. The figure was tall and imposing, with wings that seemed to span the entire chamber. Each feather glowed with an ethereal light, casting intricate patterns on the walls. The presence of this being was overwhelming, filling the room with a sense of awe and reverence.
I am Basil. Prove yourself worthy, human. The voice was both commanding and serene, echoing through the chamber like a divine decree. Basil's eyes bore into Do-hyuk as if measuring his very soul. Defeat this machine and you shall receive a gift from Kakudinol. The challenge was clear, and the stakes were high. The machine that appeared was unlike anything Do-hyuk had ever seen, a fusion of advanced technology and raw power, designed to test his limits.
Do-hyuk felt a surge of anger. His fists clenched involuntarily and his heart pounded in his chest. The audacity of these beings to toy with his life, to set such impossible challenges, ignited a fire within him. Was his life just a game to these beings? He questioned the fairness of it all, the purpose behind these trials. Every fiber of his being screamed against the injustice, the manipulation. He would not be a pawn in their celestial games. With a newfound resolve, Do-hyuk stood firm, ready to face whatever came next. He would prove his worth, not just to Basil, but to himself. This was his challenge, and he would meet it head-on, no matter the cost.
Serve me, Do-hyuk. Defeat my enemies, and you shall have power beyond your wildest dreams and desires.
Do-hyuk hesitated. The offer was incredibly tempting. With such power, he could protect himself, protect everyone. But at what cost? He looked at the robot, its cold, unfeeling eyes staring back at him. He thought of the people he had lost, the suffering he had endured throughout his life. He would not be a weapon.
I refuse,
Do-hyuk said, his voice firm despite the fear that clawed at him. He would not sacrifice his soul for power. The air grew heavy. Kakudinol's laughter echoed through the chamber, laced with a chilling anger.
So be it, you have chosen your fate.
The robot whirred to life, its eyes glowing with a menacing red light. It lunged at Do-hyuk, its metal fist aimed at his head. Do-hyuk rolled out of the way, narrowly avoiding the blow. His heart pounded in his chest, each beat a reminder of the life he was fighting to protect. The battlefield was a chaotic symphony of clashing swords and desperate cries, but Do-hyuk's focus was razor sharp. He had trained for this moment, every muscle in his body honed for survival. He raised his sword, its blade shimmering in the light. The weight of it was familiar, a comforting presence in the midst of chaos. He would fight. He would survive. Each swing of his sword was a testament to his willpower, a declaration that he would not be defeated. The enemy was relentless, but so was he. Every move was calculated, every strike precise. The angel Basil watched the battle unfold, a flicker of something akin to respect in his eyes. He had seen many warriors come and go, but there was something different about Do-hyuk. There was a fire in his eyes, a determination that set him apart. Basil could see the toll the battle was taking on him, but he also saw the unyielding spirit that refused to be broken.
He is a stubborn one. Basil's voice was soft, almost reverent. He had seen countless battles, but few warriors had earned his respect like Do-hyuk had. There was a resilience in him that was rare, a strength that went beyond physical prowess.
Basil murmured, more to himself than anyone else. The battle raged on, a storm of violence and determination. Do-hyuk's movements were a blur, his body a vessel of pure instinct. He fought not just for himself, but for those who depended on him, for the hope that flickered in the hearts of the oppressed. Do-hyuk fought with everything he had, his body moving on instinct, his spirit unbroken. Each clash of steel was a reminder of his purpose, each narrow escape a testament to his skill. He was a beacon of hope in the darkness, a symbol of resistance against overwhelming odds. He would not give in, his eyes burned with determination, his jaw set in defiance. The enemy could throw everything they had at him, but he would stand firm. He was fighting for more than just survival. He was fighting for a future, for a world where hope could flourish. Not now, not ever. Do-hyuk's stance was unyielding, his resolve unbreakable. In the midst of chaos, he stood as a pillar of strength, a warrior who would never surrender. The battle was far from over, but as long as he stood, there was hope.
You have shown courage, human. In the face of overwhelming odds, you stood your ground. Your bravery is not just a fleeting moment, but a testament to your unyielding spirit. Many have faltered where you have stood firm. Perhaps there is hope for you yet. The path ahead is fraught with peril, but within you lies a strength that can overcome any obstacle. Remember, it is not the absence of fear that defines a hero, but the ability to move forward despite it.
And with a final flash of light, the angel vanished. The sky, once dark and foreboding, now held a glimmer of hope. The celestial being's departure left an indelible mark on the world, a reminder of the divine encounter. Do-hyuk stood alone, panting, his body bruised but his spirit unbroken. Each scar on his body told a story of battles fought and won. His resilience was a beacon of hope in the darkest of times. He had stared into the face of a god and refused to yield. The confrontation had tested the very limits of his endurance, but he emerged stronger, more determined. His defiance was not born of arrogance, but of an unwavering belief in his cause. He had tasted true power, the power of his own will. This newfound strength surged through him, illuminating his path forward. It was a power that came not from external sources, but from within, a testament to his inner fortitude. And he knew, deep in his heart, that he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. He was unbreakable. The journey ahead would be long and arduous, but with every step, he would grow stronger. His spirit, unyielding and resolute, would guide him through the trials to come. He was a warrior, a beacon of hope, and his story was far from over.